Alright everyone, welcome back to the WRUTCG. We've got a deck profile video for you today. This one is a Neostorm themed deck, so it tries to focus on just pure Neostorm and using the bonuses you get for having multiple Neostorm cards in play. As such, it only plays Neostorm, so you're not going to get more than the 4 boosts that you normally get from the team bonus. But you'll be able to get that relatively easy. So first up we have our drivers, right? Animax is pretty much the key card of the set. Equips the RD-02 for his RD-02 for free, and then if you have another Neostorm card in your podium, you're gaining a boost during your upkeep. So realistically there's only 4 targets for this, but if you can get the Rocket Fire or one of these two into the podium, then your upkeep per turn is just insane as long as Animax is in play. This is crazy, just a really good setup if you can get it to work. It's a bit harder to work, but this is a very aggressive deck and tries to win tracks and get cards in the podium as quick as possible. So WRUTCG is another great one. This driver gives you just boost when he enters the board for each Neostorm card. Again, we've only got, I think, these options here are the only Neostorm cards we can access. So we are maxed out on Neostorm cards. That's why we are running 3 Mustangs in this situation, because we need it as soon as possible. Let's see. Next we have Pesh. During your upkeep, if he's equipped to a car with a lap count 4 or higher, you gain a boost. You don't want to be putting him on one of these. You want to be putting him on something a little more expensive, such as probably the 442 or Den's Twin Mill. But that's the best you can do there. Wild, just cheaper for each Neostorm car you control. It's really easy to get this to cost 0 and just be a free card. It's just good. And then you can wreck this card to gain a boost. This is pretty much only in here for Power Rocket. It's just, and you can use it on Exotic as well, but it's just a really generically good card for just gaining boost. You're essentially paying 1 to play him, and then you're wrecking the car to get your 1 boost back, and then you're getting whatever bonus you get for wrecking the car. So sometimes it's good. Dio, this just damages, it's a free card that damages the card it's equipped to. So we are trying to minimize cost as well as gain a lot of boost, so we can play lots of cards in one turn. We want to be using most of our boost to be drawing, so we can just keep putting cards on the field. So free cards are good. The sticker only costs 1. It can't be equipped to a team car, but the majority of the cars in the deck aren't a team car, so that's fine. 3 team recruit, just so we've got more Neostorm drivers, and 3 rookie, just so we have more drivers. You realistically should be playing 3 rookies in every deck, just to max out guys if you can. They're cheap and easy to play, and drivers are limited. Next is the team recruits. Most decks should play these. If you're playing 1 team, always play it. The downside here is Dio does ruin the team recruit. Onto cars. Animax's RD-02. This thing is nuts. It's good for being on Big Blue, so Big Blue is the first track. You want to win it as fast, or if Big Blue hits the field, you want to win it because it's draw power. And that's one thing this deck doesn't have, is draw power. So you want to be winning Big Blue, and this card lets you win Big Blue a little bit easier by just costing 1 less. So you can pay 0 for this, and then 0 for, or pay 1 for this, and then 0 for this, and you've got yourself a 1-drop 4 cost with the driver. It's so fast, like it's so aggressively fast, especially on Big Blue. Like it's just a cheap combo if you can get them both. Rocket Fire is just a really good one as well. Anytime a Neostorm card gives you boost, you gain boost, so that counts this. So if you have Animax equipped to this at the start of your turn with a RD-02 in your upkeep, in your podium, you're getting 2 boosts at the start of every turn. That's nuts. This gives you multiple boosts, and this will give you the 1 extra. This gives you, this is free boost here at this point. You're sending a car, sure, but you're gaining 1 back. You're gaining 2 back after losing 1. Just crazy, crazy. And again, this one is another upkeep, gain a boost, and this just buffs it. This car is broken. It's also only a 4, so it doesn't stay on the field very long. And sometimes, right, you get these really, really strong effects on these low lap cars, and you don't want them on low lap cars. You want them on high lap cars so you can keep that car for a while. But yeah, so it does get off the field quickly, and that actually kind of balances out the power of it. 3 of the Mustang GT. Yes, you can only control 1, but you also just desperately need to have multiple Neostorm cards straight away. Roger Dodger is almost all your drivers in Neostorm. This is the only issue with that one. Obviously, the Stickle, it would become an Acceleron car, so that can work with Den's Twin Wheel, but it's not going to come up very often. So Den's Twin Wheel is a cute one, right? So when it goes to the podium, it returns to your hand and then adds a car from your hand to the podium. So you've got these RD-02s that want to be on the podium, and you've got you want a Neostorm car on the podium as fast as possible. So if you can get this on the podium, you can really just set up the podium quite nicely. It is a 7, so it's a little hard to get going. 2 442s, these should just be free because you will swarm. So play these for free, get free cars. The exotic is just when it leaves the field, you draw a card. Works really well with JC. It's also just a generically good card you get your draw power. You kind of need draw power here. These RD-02s are nuts. Alright, if you can get 3 of them in your podium, or if you can get 2 of these and this in your podium, they just get cheaper every time, right? They also go down for the RD-02s on the field. They count the Animax RD-02s, so just really good. This one is a great card. This is essentially a 3-lap car in this deck because you are gaining so much boost. Yes, it costs you 1 boost every turn. That shouldn't matter. This car is nuts and is pretty much the ace card of the deck. And then Power Rocket, when it's wrecked, you gain 5 boost. That's massive. Usually you're not going to use 5 boost in a turn. It's very hard to wreck it in your own turn, because if you wreck it in your opponent's turn, or your opponent wrecks it, then you lose that 5 boost before your turn even starts. But if you can combine that with JC, that's wreck it to gain 6 boost, and then you can just play out your whole hand at that point. And then we have actions. Now, the reason our cars and drivers are cheap and all just give us boost is because our actions are a little pricey. Desync is expensive, but 3 of. Resetting a car is good. You don't always want to be discarding a car for Cetus Yeetus. So that's why I've got desync in here. You're just resetting their lap count, so they're not going to beat you. Disconnect. You don't have to play this on your opponent's car drivers. You can play it on your own. So you can disconnect to put Velox Cheetah back in your hand, play it again, and gain more boost again. Absolutely nuts. Crash Cart is just damage a car so it loses a lap. This will just speed you up. Your opponent's going to start targeting your cars when they hit 1 to 2 laps. So obviously you want to do this just to get them out of there faster. You do this at 3, or no, you do this at 2, and you get the car out for free. So it stops your opponent targeting it. Quick Start, it just plays a Neostorm driver from your hand for free. With Disconnect is crazy. It just lets you do things a little bit cheaper just to get things out. Unfortunately, none of the Neostorm drivers cost 3, so this isn't amazing just yet. But in future sets, if we get a 3-cost Neostorm driver, crazy. And Overcharge is nuts. This card is nuts. I think it caps out at what, 6, but if you play this, gain 6, and then the Rocket Fire will give you an extra 1 on top of that. Just crazy. So yeah, the entire purpose of this deck is just to gain lots of energy, play lots of cars, and some cheap drivers. And then just win on just sheer numbers alone. And obviously Supercharged is ridiculous because as long as you're willing to pay a boost every turn, it's fast. And obviously Supercharged is crazy because as long as you're willing to pay a boost every turn, it's a 3-lap car. And 3-lap cars are quite hard to come by in this game. 3-lap is insane. 4 laps is good. 3 laps is just nuts. There's always a downside to it. And this one realistically doesn't have one other than having to pay a boost all the time. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to check out this deck or some others. I'm going to do some other deck profiles in the future, just some other deck ideas. I'll probably do my deck last, the one I'm using for the tournament, just because I don't want to give away everything. But thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.